Hey everybody, it's the Squeegee Live Podcast. I'm here with Chris Lambrinides. What's up, Chris?
What up? How's it going?
Not much, man. You know, same shit, different day. That's how we do it here.
Yeah, man.
Super lame.
Just don't read the comments.
Yeah, just don't read. Yes, I will not read the comments. Yes. Now that I'm being made fun of.
That's how it works, right?
Right.
He's whinging.
Oh, awesome. Mark's on. All right, I'm going to add Mark to this podcast now since he's decided to come on. And
it's going to get tall.
It's going to get fucking weird in here, bros. Yeah, so, we're hanging out with Chris Lambrinides tonight. How you doing, Chris? Good, I hope? Hope
yeah,
it's all amazing, right?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, look, there's Mark Tanner.
Yep.
Not all the way gay, but pretty damn close.
Yeah. He's got sunglasses on and it's dark out. So
I'm so cool.
Oh, that's worse. Put them on top of your head.
Alright. So we're going to fuck with me right at the opening of
Yeah,
well, yes.
Florida man says.
Florida man says.
Have you ever seen me come on late? TJ was like, I'm not friends with Seth anymore. What a piece of shit he didn't show
Right.
up. So, yeah, fair enough.
Mario said, fuck that dude, man. He deleted the comment.
Nice.
Yes, the comment is gone. Yes.
You are not Steve. That is correct. So what's up, Chris? Anything new in the WCR world?
No, man. We're just in a holding pattern until people's fall seasons kick off. But it seems like September is starting to get pretty busy for people. So it's been a little busier around the place lately.
I can attest to that. That September is really starting to really ramp up here at the very end.
You can feel it?
I can feel it.
How's commercial doing?
For me, it's up and down. It's
yeah.
Like, I was telling TJ the other day, I took some county work just because, it's going to fill the schedule, or add some revenue. And I turned down these elevator shafts like the last 3 years in a row. But I'm like, yeah, I'll do them,
Before you got on, Mark, we were talking about like the county seemed to be like having some federal funds right now, so they may pay on time.
Well, yeah, but it's also well known that they hold on to their money in good times and bad, so you prepare for 60 to 90 days to get paid. But look, right. You got to look at it like this. It's in the books, and in a couple months, I'll get that nice check, so you can't always got to see it for down the road. I got all my invoices out, and we sent out a lot of past due statements. And I'm like, wow, it's still tough out there. But, so we made it through without them, and hopefully they catch up. That's what you got to do.
You guys ever collect cash on site, or do you invoice everybody?
At one time, I used to collect a lot of cash. And then as my business grew, I never really deposited cash. So it's very hard to make the overhead without. And then we started to see it as a liability because now you got to pay the route guys to collect it. Well, it's part of the job would be to collect it, but I mean, how safe is it for a guy walking around with a pocket with $300 or $400 in it? And the last thing I would want is someone come club one of the guys over the head and reach in his pocket. So we started to part of the streamlining we did was credit card processing, online processing, and just mail me a check. Any new account I pick up, and usually the last line of questioning when they're done, when they want to ask you something is, okay, how do we pay? And we tell them, we can mail you a bill, you can mail me an invoice, you can give me a credit card, we can automatically pay, we'll notify you when we're going to do it. And it seems like the credit card has gotten, better, so we're still, like, I stuffed envelopes after work today. I'm still sending out 150, 200, probably 175 invoices, so, but like I said, a lot of them have gone over to email or stuff like that. But
Mario, the huge convention is going to be in Atlanta next year.
Most likely,
right?
I don't know, man. I'd like to maybe move it out to the Midwest again.
Fuck
Atlanta seems
you.
like it could. Dude, Branson was great.
Branson was gay,
If
dude.
they had a better airport that they get stuck at for 7 hours.
I mean, it's not like it wasn't like 17 hours away. Right.
Listen, Chris.
Mario said he would take any substance.
How about a nice sunny side of Florida? You can go by the beach. I can hook you up. We can go to some building rooftops. You can do some training up there. We can, we got the beautiful Palm Beach County Convention Center.
Yeah, it's beautiful in August. It's not like 500 degrees in Florida in August.
Oh, it's nice.
You may have seen that Wendy's they burnt down a couple times.
Yeah.
3 minutes from where the Atlanta hotel was.
Yeah.
I saw that, man. Yeah, Atlanta seems like it's going to be on fire for a while, but who knows? Next year could be different. Midwest isn't terrible though. You have to pick a hub like St. Louis or Kansas City, some shit like that, but it could work.
That like I-95-ish corridor right there is a pretty good spot for like people to drive into. So anywhere kind of around there is nice.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I live on I-95, so I like that.
Yeah.
You're awesome, Seth.
I try to be.
You're awesome, dude. I really like you.
Yeah, the only thing on I-95 you frequent is the
here
rest
goes
stop.
Mark again. Start talking.
Yeah, is that where you go? No.
Late to the podcast, talks constantly.
As Seth would call them, or as Jersey would do, the bath houses.
I call them the Mark houses here.
Yeah.
Short little men trying to blow me, but I like it.
Yep. Goes in there with
So how did the open house go with your 17-year-old kid?
Oh, it was me. Yeah, it was.
Florida is the weirdest state in the union. They're like, how old is JT?
JT is 16.
Okay, he's 16. I've never heard of my kid 16 years old having a fucking open house.
Oh, yeah, well, it's not public school. He goes to a private school. So
duh.
every year,
like I should have known that. Yeah. Well, keep going. Continue. Please continue, rich man.
It's not about money, dude. It's about getting him an education because he learns different. Okay. So basically, he's at a work at your own pace.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he's actually going to graduate 6 months early, and he's doing well. So they just go over the program because he's at home Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday, Friday he goes into the classroom. So they're just getting everything ironed out, basically.
Is he a senior this year or a junior?
He's a junior.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's he want to do when he's done?
Not
he wants
clean
to go in the Air
windows.
Force.
Like your brother?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Do
want
you
to be
like that, Mark? Are you happy with that choice?
100%.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to be a loser like him.
Chris, after I saw my brother was a very smart kid, but he was very active and he needed to focus where he put his attention. And I used to tell him, dude, wherever you go to work, they love you. And I'm like, who are you talking about? And then it's like, he says, I'm going in the Air Force. He got in the Air Force and it changed his life. And he was only going to do 4 years and get out. Well, he went in at 19 years old, okay? At 39 years old, he retired with a wonderful pension and a pilot's license.
Yeah.
And he can go fly for Delta now. God bless him.
Right.
You know?
I have 2 stepbrothers that have been in the Air Force for like 8 or 9, maybe even 10 years now.
Yes.
And like, it's amazing. That's the best branch you would want your kid or relative to go into.
Yeah.
they can learn this like, highly super technical skill, whether it's repairing or flying something, and it's really applicable in other areas of life because you can go be a like a real deal commercial airline pilot.
Yeah,
I've got a buddy that that was in the Air Force, and he neither flies nor repairs. He's actually like satellite communications and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So like the IT side of things. He's an intelligence guy in the Air Force. So there's a lot of different career paths in the Air Force. Welcome to this window cleaning podcast. Join the U.S. Air Force.
The Korean girl I used to have sex with works in the Air Force, and it was great. Yeah, she loved it.
What branch, Seth?
She was in the Air Force. It was wonderful. Yeah,
Jesus Christ! You wouldn't know that Seth has a girlfriend.
I do.
I hope she doesn't watch this podcast.
She doesn't. So
great. You're good to go then. You're good to go.
How long have you been together?
Don't worry, because don't worry. I will save that clip and play it when we get to Tennessee. Please continue.
A year and a half.
What's going on with this Tennessee trip?
I don't know about them, but I am working my ass off to get everything done. Like literally at the powder coat shop today, getting stuff done. But
listen. You see what he did there? You see what he did there, Seth? Again, you see what he did there again? Like, woe is me. We've known about this since fucking. No. It kind of sounds a little bit like you're complaining. Well, I'm really working my ass off. I gotta finish this smoker.
I'm working a whole 5 hours a day.
Yeah. I gotta finish this smoker in this skid unit. I mean, I've been telling TJ I'm gonna give him this smoker since January.
Yeah, you gotta get on a plane and come down and get it.
No, you said we talked about this back in January. You never did anything. That's not my fault.
Dude, no. The smoker's done. I'm just finishing up these water carts, and I've actually stopped working on mine. You don't even have to build mine. Mine's already built. Yeah, yours is built, and
Mark needs something to come back to.
I pick yours up tomorrow, and then I assemble it.
You don't need a pure water cart. He's got employees.
Mark already sent me a bill before it was built. So.
You're such an asshole. Such an asshole. Yeah. When I leave, I'm going for business.
Yeah, well, like, if you're trying to leave New England, like, you need an excuse to leave, so.
Yeah.
Was Seth's invoice in with one of those 175 mark?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I got that shit as soon as I asked for it. I'm like, oh, you already had it ready. I'm like, I like this.
No, I didn't have it ready. I wanted to get it to you. You want to be honest? So I could delete it out of my system. Oh. I printed it, I sent it to you, and then I deleted it.
Okay, live, laugh, love. Fucking queer.
Yeah.
That gay-ass pillow out of your podcast room.
Podcast room.
You got a fucking pillow behind you that says live, laugh, love. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay.
You don't tell my wife
anything wrong with
tell her that in Tennessee.
I'll tell her that straight to her fucking face. I ain't scared of her.
Watch what happens.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Is she gonna throw a troll, a bridge troll at me? Is she gonna fucking dwarf toss somebody at me? You're fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
My wife's 7 foot tall.
Fucking, I seen her in person. She don't scare me none.
So she walks in the room and say, "Hey, Mrs. Tanner, how are you?"
Yeah. Mrs. Tanner ain't gonna do shit to me.
Yeah. Kate, she says to me, "You need to knock off that Mrs. Tanner shit." I go,
"Whoa!"
That's polite. That's polite.
It's fucking polite.
No, she goes, he wants me to feel like an old lady.
No, I fucking don't.
Are you guys meeting up with all of your women? Your women are going too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to Tennessee to meet in cabins and ride side-by-sides. I mean, bikes. We're riding bikes through the mountains. There's going to be some 10,000 foot...
Mountains?
Yeah, the 10,000 foot cliffs and shit everywhere. It's going to be sweet.
Like K2 times 3.
Mark's like, man, you got to watch out, though, on some of these cliffs. They're like 10,000 feet. I'm like, God damn, where the fuck are we going? We're going to need oxygen. He's like, you know what I mean. I'm like, no, you said 10,000 feet. That's really high in the fucking air, bro.
Yeah, when you're short 1,000 feet.
Dude, you gotta understand. I live at sea level. Florida is like.
Oh yeah, I always forget that. Yeah. Mark's like, man, you guys got a lot of mountains in Ohio. I'm like, that's a hill, dude.
Yeah. We got nothing like that.
Yeah.
Our biggest mountain is Mount Trashmore, where they pile up the garbage.
So you're literally at sea level? Like,
see you later, Marcus.
How far are you? I guess you're right by the beach. Yeah.
I put a fence up. If I dig 4 feet, I'm in water.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cuba is his back door. I mean, essentially.
What is
80 miles, 90 miles
90
from?
miles.
90 miles from what?
From Key West.
Wow.
The southernmost point of the country is Key West, Florida, and it's 90 miles from Cuba.
Oh Jesus, Marcus, so affluent, so fucking.
Mark literally lives like what, 20 minutes from the Keys? 30?
No, not anymore.
I thought you were south of Miami.
No, I'm north of Miami. I am about 150 miles from the Keys, north.
Oh shit! All right, you're a ways.
I'm closer
He's
to
big
Lake
time.
Okeechobee.
Mark Tanner's big time, man. That's big time shit going on there, bro. Big
Yes.
time. Private school, 150 miles from the Keys. You know, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got a wife named Mrs. Tanner. Top notch all the way. I'm never gonna stop calling her Mrs. Tanner.
All I have to
It's
say
never
is
gonna happen.
TJ and Mark invented the carbon fiber trad pole. I pressured Mark into building water cars.
Yeah, right. I don't know if we invented it, but we insisted on someone make it. We didn't invent it.
Yes.
We just insist that somebody make a cheap enough version. And then Chris was like, all right, here, dudes. Here's this thing you asked for.
If you see it long enough, it's true. So that's how it
Well,
works.
technically, Luke, the window cleaner, told me that he invented it. He's like, I invented that.
A few different people have had the idea over the years, but hearing you guys talk about it a few different times in a row caused me to want to do it. Several people have come through and messed it all up already by putting out hybrid versions, and it's not the same. But,
No, it's not. Dude, that red pole, I meant to show you. I got to do that. The red pole, the red one, you know, you have the colored ones now? And I have the...
Did you know that, Chris? Did you have colored ones now?
Did you know you made different colors?
Shut up. The multicolor ones?
Yeah.
Dude, I took my temperature meter to my first zero trad pole, the black one, and the red one side by side, and the red one is like 30 degrees colder sitting in the sun. Because them black ones get hot. I mean, they do.
I gave my orange one away to CJ up in Michigan. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah,
Congratulations to him. I'm really surprised that my silencer giveaway video has not gotten 1,000 views by now. It's like nobody gives a fuck about it.
people go crazy for those things. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm really surprised too.
It took me 3 months to get one. I was like, just let me have one. And then I remember I kept messaging Jersey's like, oh my God, I have no control over this. Will you shut up? Just please let me know when it comes in.
So yeah, it should be a fun trip though to Tennessee, Chris. It should be fun.
How many days y'all going for?
We're just going for the weekend. You know,
Yeah,
Friday,
so
Saturday, Sunday.
I bet you'll have a lot of fun.
We will.
We're going to document it. We're going to well document it.
We're gonna go to. We're gonna go and look for Bigfoot. I mean, that's what this whole trip's about: is looking for Bigfoot.
Jason,
you're not gonna find Bigfoot there.
Scott. No.
What, in Tennessee? You're fucking crazy, dude.
Come on.
Where are we gonna
Bigfoot's
find
up
him?
in the Pacific Northwest.
Nah, bro. He's there in the mountains in Tennessee. My grandma used to talk to him.
All right.
My mama used to tell me.
Yeah, my mama used to play fuckers. Used to throw rocks at him and shit.
Your old mama.
Man, I see we got Marcus in the comments here.
Yeah, he was here.
And I want to meet Marcus. We're so
Sounds like
close to
awesome.
each other. We're only like 3 hours away.
He was here and then he left.
Are you upstate
Oh,
New
yeah.
York? Where
He
are
said,
you?
"Okay,
Are
fellas,
you
I'm
on
up."
the Jersey, New York line?
Yeah. So if you look at a map of New Jersey, like I'm at the very tiny top peak. We're in this area where I live in New Jersey, WCR is in New York, and it's only 7 minutes that way, but PA is only 10 minutes that way. So we're like right on the PA New York
Right
border.
there, like Patterson, New York, and like Am I in even the right area over there?
Patterson, New Jersey is like 30 minutes from us.
30 minutes from you? Okay.
We'll see how you do.
Patterson is why people think New Jersey is shitty, because they fly into Newark and see factories and smoke, but like we're just in the woods.
Why don't you
chemical zone like Sonic the Hedgehog? You know what I mean? It's all like clouds of smoke and shit. Yeah.
Why don't you hire him to clean your windows? You know he'll show up then. It's just an idea. Marcus.
Yeah, you should hire Marcus.
You said you can't find. You said you can't find any good window cleaners in your area because All County sucks the fattest dick.
Well, Pete was watching the show that night and he just sent me a preemptive invoice to prepay.
Oh, did he? Peter's fucking great, dude. I love Peter.
Jordy comes down like twice a year, and he loves him when he's here. There.
Oh, that's cool.
What, Jordy?
Jordy and Kat come down like every 6 months or so.
He lives like 30 minutes away from me. He's like 30 minutes north of me. I think so. He's like Foxborough area, right?
Jordy and his wife are cool.
Yeah.
They're cool as hell. I enjoyed spending time with them at the convention last year. Jordy was
so nice people.
Jordy and his wife were super cool. Steve-O and his girlfriend were fucking awesome. Way cooler than I thought Steve-O was gonna be. Way cooler. Except for when he tried to fucking throw me off the balcony. Well, he didn't try to throw me off the balcony. He made it feel like he was trying to, which scared the shit out of me.
Steve-O had a few too many drinks. I really liked.
Yeah. At the bowling alley?
I was like, go to bed. I'm going to bed. I was like,
at the bowling alley? At the bowling alley? He was fucking excellent at the bowling alley. He really let his hair down at the bowling alley. That was really good. Really fun. I was like, Steve-O, are you drunk? He's like, yep. Yep. That was a good time. Branson wasn't bad. The thing I didn't like about Branson is that the high dollar steakhouse and the fucking the Irish pub sold the same fucking cut of meat.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me. Like, we went to that really nice, supposed nice steakhouse, and I ordered a steak. And then I went over to the bar, and I was like, well, you know what? The next day, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a steak here and see which is better. And it's the same fucking piece of meat. It's like it came out of the same kitchen.
They probably ran it across the street.
Right, yeah.
Same owners.
Yeah. What really bothered me was when I landed and I ordered a taxi 2 days in advance, and the taxi didn't show up, and I had to get in a fucking weird Jeep Cherokee with some fucking guy telling me his conspiracy theories at 5 o'clock, and then I missed my flight, and I sat in Branson Airport for 6 hours. But other than that,
I think I may have had the same driver.
Yeah, you might have. Yeah, he was smoking a million cigarettes, telling me how I need to move to Colorado before all the like land gets flooded, and like that's gonna be prime real estate. Is basically what he was telling me, like midway through a drive at 5:15 in the morning. I was like, "Cool, dude, I'm hungover as fuck. Like, if
nice.
You shut the fuck up, that'd be great."
What are you all doing for 9/11 tribute? I mean, as we're window cleaners, so I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Because 9/11 was an inside job, Jason. So there's that. I'm gonna come out with something cool to fucking profit off the death of a bunch of people by the hands of supposed terrorists. Allegedly.
I like this country a lot better when they were more.
7 doesn't go down. Yeah.
Well, how can you not like this country when it's more patriotic?
I'm just saying, compared to what it was back then.
Remember how patriotic it was, like, the weeks after 9/11?
Oh, yeah.
It was like, America, fuck yeah. Like, people just were, like, so America. It was the best thing ever. We had a common enemy.
Yeah.
That was
totally fake, but we all...
Yeah.
Dude, but I remember yelling. I was a junior in high school when that shit happened. And I remember, like, a bunch of kids going to the mobile gas station next to my house and like yelling at the dude because he was Arabic. He was like, I'm a Egyptian. And like that dude was my fucking selling cigarettes from like when I was like 15 on. Like I love that guy. Like he was flying the American flag out front mostly just so people wouldn't rob it. Like he's pretty patriotic. Like I like that.
Most of the gas station guys are Sikhs. They're like totally not that.
Yeah,
and they're really fucking cool people too. They're nice people.
Just like,
all the Sikhs that I've ever encountered, they're always really nice people. I went to school with a couple of them, and they were the best fucking guys to hang out with. They were cool as shit, man. I always liked hanging out with them.
And they love America.
Yeah, they do love America. They carry knives too.
Yeah,
Daggers.
they carry knives.
Daggers.
They drink like maniacs.
Yes.
Like they're essentially Americans before they were Americans.
Right. Well, I was gonna say because they were awesome at parties. We could really fucking drink. Those guys can drink.
Oh yeah, that's all they do. Yeah, it's the best.
Man, like on 9/11, after cleaning windows for the day, we went down to the skyline and like watched it burn. Like we're so close to it here.
Yeah.
So many people in this area were affected by it, so it's like a little bit of probably a bigger thing here.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a bigger thing where you're at. It may just it may be something that, you know, because people have it touched people in so many ways in that area. You know what I mean? So you can
maybe more impactful.
Yeah, humans like fucking have a really good thing with like disassociating themselves with something. You know what I mean? Like 9/11 was pretty freaky for me. You know what I mean? I thought it was that. I thought for sure that we were gonna end up having to fight. I thought for sure we were all gonna have to fight when it was happening. And I was watching it on television, they were like giving an interview, the tower's on fire. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. And then another plane flies through the fucking background of the dude reporting on it and fucking it kaboom! I'm like, we're gonna have to fucking fight these guys, you know. I'm finally gonna get to shoot guns at people. It's gonna be fucking sweet. Yeah.
Oh man, you thought it was like that movie in the '80s when they're invading. What's that movie called?
Oh, Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
That's exactly what I thought. I was born in 1979. Of course, I thought it was going to be Red Dawn, Chris. Duh. Every time I go to a dance, I think I'm going to fucking do some Footloose style shit. Yeah. So yes, dude, yes.
What the hell's what's his name? See Something Howl or like whatever. Like you're hiding up there with like Charlie Sheen. Like,
yeah.
And shit. I like that. Well, like, so Chris might know where this is. My dad used to work in Stamford, Connecticut, which is like a half hour from New York City. And I remember my dad called me in school, and then like when I met up with him like 2 weeks later, he had like the old school camcorder. He stood on top of his building and like watched the second plane like smash in. And like he knew people who like worked in the buildings. Like he worked for an insurance company, so like the other half of his insurance company worked in the trade center. So like when you'd go in his building, you flip through books and like there was like 30, 40 people in those books that like were connected there, like their wife, mothers, daughters, sons. Like it was like it felt like it hit home here in like New England. Like at least for me, it did. Like just like people you had seen all died, and like really kind of created that like. I feel
like it's what saddens me about it is not only that it happened, but like when Chris brings up how patriotic everyone was, you know, after that, it saddens me from that point to this point. You know what I mean? Where we've come as a country, it saddens. It's sad, really. You know what I mean? Because you remember every newspaper had an American flag in it, and you know you could take the American flag out of the fucking newspaper and tape it to your fucking window. Now look at the way the media does shit.
They're
you know what I'm saying?
In the streets.
Yeah, they're burning the fucking flag in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
dude, everybody had a flag off their car.
Of course.
Yeah. Our work trucks had flags hanging off the back.
Yeah.
I mean, but you have that kind of going on now a little bit too, though. Like I was out on my friend's boat over the weekend. We ended up in like a Trump parade, and there must have been like 500-600 boats.
Same.
Cruising, like,
they did the same thing here.
Ended up in one?
Yelling shit. Well, I mean, we kind of planned it out a little bit, but it was fucking.
Oh, Seth, easy, killer. Your liberal buddies are gonna come after you and fucking burn an American flag in your front yard.
Massachusetts, you think I live in, but like this shit.
You
like,
live in Connecticut.
Same as where Mark. No, well, yeah, no, I live near Connecticut. Oh. Yes, correct. But,
I thought you lived in Massachusetts. No, you live in Delaware?
But yeah, man, it was a huge fucking party of like 27 flags on every boat.
Yeah.
Don't stand on me. You had a bunch of fucking fat dudes with no shirt on and mullets be like, yeah brother. I'm like, what's up, dude? What's happening?
Right.
Yeah.
A bunch of dudes that love America.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Well, they did the same thing this Saturday here in Sandusky. There was a huge boat float. It's called a Trump flotilla.
Yeah.
To be exact, it's not a fucking parade, Seth. It's because you're a fucking liberal and you wouldn't know. No, I didn't, Seth, no. The pontoon boat was well after the flotilla. I was working when the flotilla was going down. The flotillas are for rich boat owners, not like regular guys that gotta go to work. The regular guys that gotta go to work, they float on the boat after the flotilla. You know what I'm saying?
They look at you and throw a thumbs up and be like, whatever.
Yeah, I was at the flotilla's house washing their windows. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
Give a little thumbs up from the background.
Yeah.
Dude, we had some 80-year-old lady on the side. So, like, where we were coming in, there's a jetty that sticks out as you come into the harbor.
Yeah.
And she was in all pink, wearing, like, Women for Trump shirt, flag, just waving and flipping off everybody who, like, wasn't with her. And I'm like, this lady's, like, 80 years old, 4'9", weighs about 90 pounds, and she was just like, fuck everybody.
God bless her.
I loved her. I loved her.
4,000 boats this weekend at the Jupiter boat parade for Trump. It's huge. He came through Jupiter. Dude, they shut the road down, and there were thousands of people out in the street. Thousands.
I saw a video that it looked outrageous. Like, and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks of.
Yeah.
Well, even here, he come.
Right there.
He came to he didn't come to Sandusky. He came to Clyde, which is like maybe 10 minutes from here, and there's the Whirlpool factory there, and he went and spoke. I don't know if you've seen his speech at the Whirlpool factory, but that was like maybe 10 minutes from me, and they did the same thing there. The same exact thing. It was fucking Route 20 was fucking lined with people, you know. It was like nobody's gonna go to that, and then you see the coverage of it, and everybody was there.
It's just a weird time. If 15 years ago you told me I was gonna give a fuck about who was president, I would have been like, all right, sounds good. Like I was hanging out wearing a Misfits t-shirt, getting drunk as fuck, smoking weed, like hanging out with my friends.
Right.
And now those people grew up and were like, well, this is bullshit on this side, so like. I'm going to pick this maniac who has a TV show, and I love this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird to me. Like,
if I can just get off topic real quick.
No.
You said the Misfits, Seth. I pass by Jerry Only every single day. Their warehouse where they play is 1 mile from our warehouse. He lives in the same town as me. I see Jerry all over town, talk to him every once in a while. But every day when I come up from work, they own this warehouse that, like, distributes screws. And you can see them in there playing and, like, lifting weights every day.
Well, so the lifting weight part I can imagine. The playing part, I'm like, well, he sucks at playing. So, like, that dude's played 3 notes for, like, I don't know, 35 years. I love Jerry Only. Like,
and they're fine notes, Seth. What about your tongue?
I love Misfits. Misfits might be my favorite, like, one of my...
I mean, that's you and Alex's shit, ain't it, Chris? That's your guys' shit, ain't it?
No, it's not our shit, but I mean, like, I've always appreciated it as a kid, and it's just kind of cool that we're here in town.
Yes, Seth, so watch your fucking mouth.
Dude, listen, I just said I love the Misfits. I'm just saying Jerry Only's a fucking maniac, and I love that dude.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
they were better with Glenn, but...
Yeah, I love Danzig. You know what I mean? Like, he's a maniac, but I love him, though.
Yeah.
He is the fucking most arrogant son of a bitch I've ever came across in my entire life.
Oh, yeah, dude, when he got punched in his face, I was like, deserved.
I don't know about any of that, but I seen a show, and he's just not he's a really dismissive cocksucker.
He is.
He's not a very nice man. But I guess, that's what you get when you're, who else are you going to be if you're Glenn Danzig? You got to be that guy. You know what I mean? It's like that Mark Tanner syndrome. They're the same height, aren't they? Actually, Glenn Danzig might be taller than you.
He's a little bit taller. I think he's like 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
Well, like, I was always like a Graves guy anyways. I kind of like the metal version of Misfits. But Danzig's hard to fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at that time period, he was great. He was great. But, like, Graves for
Mark's
me,
like, why don't we talk about Leonard Skinner?
Skinner, brother!
I have no clue who you're talking about. Sorry.
You don't know who the Misfits are? They're, like, the same age as you. They're, like, old as shit.
Yeah, the Misfits show up on every year my wife what makes me watch the Christmas movies. There's a bunch of Misfits toys.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Dude, that's real bad, dude. You got to get some culture, my man.
Yeah, man, you gotta get, like...
Seth. That's why he's bringing his own friend to the Tennessee trip, because he don't know who the fucking Misfits are.
Fair.
You guys gonna be smoking them marijuanas? Don't be ODing on the trail with that marijuana's.
Skinner, motherfucker.
Skinner. Straight edge. That's what we got to start calling Marcus. Straight edge. Marcus straight edge is a motherfucker. We're going to start calling you CM Punk. Straight edge ass motherfucker. Yeah, I don't know, Jason. I mean, I don't know if you're talking about me and a 9/11 tribute, but I just would not feel comfortable doing anything like that. I have too much.
I heard that they're not gonna. Why are they? I heard they're not gonna put the blue lights up this year because they don't want gatherings.
Well, they don't.
Around after people were outraged.
Well, I was gonna say because blue light attracts the COVID virus, so it I could see why. Because we're like an hour and 20 minutes away from COVID going fucking wild, around here. At 10 o'clock, it really ravages Ohio, so they got to shut everything down at 10. Because after 10 o'clock, it comes out at night. It's scary, dude. It's real scary living here. We have to tape our doors shut and the whole 9 yards around here. It's madness.
COVID's doing some interesting things.
It's definitely doing some fucking very interesting things.
The best 9/11 tribute is the Howard Stern episode from that day.
Yeah,
I was listening on that day.
Dude,
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
he
didn't go off the air. He was afraid to leave the building. He stayed on for like 18 hours that day, right, Chris?
It was a long time. Yeah,
but dude,
how do you listen to that? Can you find it on YouTube or something?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
They usually replay it.
Yeah,
on
okay. 9/11, and you can listen to it, dude. He goes, "Life as we know it in this country is over. This is going to change everything." And it was a very good, riveting. All the bullshit stopped, and he was very serious in his conversation. You saw what an intellect he actually is.
Right.
That was the best of Howard. He's gone a little bit downhill. Quite a bit, actually. But
now he's so
old as
hangs
fuck.
out with Jimmy Kimmel, and he's so liberal now. I'm like, I can't even listen.
He's just old. He's just old. You know what I mean? It's like at some point, like
that's not an excuse to be a fucking liberal commie fuck. I tell my mom that all the time. Don't be a liberal commie fuck, Mom. And she gets mad at me. She's like, you're not supposed to talk to me like that. I'm like, well, you're a fucking commie. It irritates the shit out of me that you're a commie.
Your goddamn mom.
Me and my mom doesn't even like to talk to me. You know what I mean? She doesn't like calling me on the phone because one way or another, it's going to get to how she's delusional for voting for fucking Joe Biden. I can't help. I have to, it drives me fucking nuts. Drives me nuts.
My mom's always trying to save me. My mom's very religious on a certain aspect of religion, and she's always like, well, when are you gonna come to the Kingdom Hall? I'm like, I don't know, never, fucking probably never.
Yeah, it's probably never gonna happen. There's a good chance. It's a good chance it's not gonna happen, Mom.
So hopefully I can see you on Sunday. I'm like, well, you can see me on Monday when I don't go. So it sounds great. Yeah, well, I'll see you then.
You're not allowed to go there anyways, are you?
Yeah, no, I've been kicked out for a long ass time. But yeah.
Well, why does she ask you to go somewhere you're not welcome? Because she loves you?
My mom still thinks she can save.
I've almost got my mom converted because now my mom is completely. There's one thing that makes my mom mad. Burning flags really irritates my mom, and burning businesses and shit like looting and rioting. The violence she doesn't get. You know what I mean? She's not down with that. They're just randomly fucking people up, because they're white.
How could you be?
You know what I mean?
Well, nobody should be down with that.
Well, she keeps telling me, she goes, all of this stuff has gone too far. And I was like, but you're going to vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who fucking condone it. She's like, gets all quiet. TJ, why do we have to talk about this? I'm like, well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
I've always thought it was funny. The group that says defund the police has two cops. Oh, you got two cops?
You got two fucking Peter Artusas running.
Bunch of Artusas.
I'm gonna get a 30 or 40 second long voice message from Peter Artusa on Facebook in the morning about how I'm a shithead, and he laughed, and Chris is a nerd and some other shit. What?
I love the way you want to start your Thursday.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know about no 9/11 tributes, my man. I don't know. I think 9/11 was an inside job. I think it was a coup. And it is what it is. I know a lot of people think that's funny, but all I got to say is this: World Trade Center 7 was not struck by anything, and it fell in its own fucking footprint. It was announced like 10 or 15 minutes before it actually collapsed that it had collapsed, and it hadn't collapsed yet. One of the guys that owned the property said, we decided to pull World Trade Center 7, which is a demolition term. When you destroy a building, they call it pulling it. So they decided to pull it.
He had a dentist appointment that day?
Yeah, he had a dentist appointment that day. And I want to know how does, and Mark's shaking his head back and forth, but I want to know this. This is what I want to know. How in the fuck does one of those jets with those giant fucking engines hit the Pentagon and make a hole like this? Tell me, how does that work? Those giant fucking jet engines.
That's solid concrete, dude.
So how does an aluminum fucking fuselage turn into a fucking missile?
Dude, it vaporized.
But a fucking motor doesn't.
Mark, you just
a jet engine will go through a wall, but the fuselage will. Stop it, Mark.
Wait. One at a time.
Mark.
What?
Listen, the Bush family has been in charge of two of the greatest blunders to America. They have. George Bush Sr. definitely killed JFK, and George Bush Jr. definitely orchestrated 9/11. If you have anything to say to the contrary, show me your evidence.
I would like to say, Seth, I don't believe George Bush Jr. orchestrated 9/11. I believe they told him the day before, hey, bro, here's what's going to be happening.
Yeah, read a book.
Oh, Mark, my favorite Photoshopper?
Yes.
Put me on a track magazine.
Yo, Mark's Photoshops are the best because he sucks at Photoshop, but he's hilarious.
At Photoshop.
He'll jam things that are clearly hilarious, like in the most ghetto-tastic way. And combining the bad Photoshopping with the hilariousness is hilariousness for all.
I refer to them as fucking, what do you call it? You're right, though. It is guerrilla. It's definitely guerrilla.
It's guerrilla tactics.
But that makes it so much funnier. So much funnier.
Unless it has a penis in it. A penis in it really pisses Alex off. Like, that really makes Alex mad. Alex gets so fucking mad. He goes, I don't understand why I have to see fucking dicks all the time.
Mark's Photoshops are so fucking good. But the ones he sent to me in Voxer, I'm like, you need to delete.
Yeah, dude, they are so fucking bad.
I saw them and I was like, anyone else sees these?
The Patreon members know they got a video of us laughing about one of his. It is so fucking bad, dude. I mean, no one will ever see that, but it was so bad. So bad. So bad, Mark. You're such an ass.
Mark should be ashamed of himself.
Yes.
No.
He's not, but he should be.
What's the best item to use to clean my truck windows? How do I get them damn water spots off, Mark? He wants to know.
Water spots are easy. You could even a mild cut compound that you'd use on paint will take water spots off.
You mean like a clay bar?
Yeah, a clay bar would take them off, or a fine cut compound, or any of your more abrasive type polishes that you guys see on the market, like Diamond Magic on a rag. I wouldn't spin it on a buffer. We'll take that stuff right off.
That's a deionized water.
DI won't take spots out. It won't leave any, but it's not going to take anything off.
Yeah. Somebody's talking about deionized water. I don't know. Listen, man. You know what you do? This is how you clean truck windows, with a bottle of Windex and a fucking paper towel. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you kill it, son.
That's how you do it.
I had a guy once, I did that Citrix building, and the contractor that got me the job, we were on our last day, and he's like, I got a favor from you, I'll buy you lunch. And I'm like, what's the favor? And he walks me over, he had a big old Chevy Suburban. It was a late model, and he must have parked only on one side. The sprinklers from his house were wailing on it. It didn't leave a calcium deposit, but it left iron stains like rainbows on it. And I'm like, all right, run an extension cord out to your truck, and here's a roll of tape. Tape off all your paint, at least 2 inches all the way around, and I'll polish it up. Came right off, and he's like, really 10 minutes and you want lunch? And I'm like, I'm going home. I don't need the free lunch.
I'm
Enjoying
just cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to show you how awesome I am.
Yeah.
I don't need no lunch. My name's Mark Tanner. I'm already filled all the way up to here anyways.
I've been using ammonia.
I already sent Seth Byers a bill for my machine.
Ammonia pits glass? What?
That's a lie.
What? Man, then all the glass that I've cleaned since 2004 is pitted like a motherfucker. Cause I use ammonia on everything. I use so much ammonia in my water it should melt the tin off the glass, but it fucking don't. I still gotta scrape it.
I've already told TJ the amount of ammonia I pour in is like when I pour it in, if I start gagging, it's
right. Yeah. That's what Mark did at my house when we were cleaning windows. He poured the ammonia in. He's like, "Ooh, that's not too much, is it?" I'm like, "Nah, I think that's fine." He's like, "Oh no, miser water, and that might be too much."
Every cut in your hand.
Yeah.
And Mark's just standing on a toolbox cleaning first floor windows. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, if you're gonna put ammonia in your water and then like fucking, I don't know, like leave it on and then like let it dry or whatever, it might do something. I don't know, but I've never had no problem.
It ain't gonna hurt glass. Chris, you always ought to sell some industrial strength ammonia. That's something that the only place I know to get it is Ace Hardware, or maybe a janitorial supply. But that might be a seller for you.
I'm glad to hear people are still using it. I was trained with it. Like that's what I was using
ammonia
back in the day. Like,
well, why the fuck would you not use that? I mean, if you do any restaurant work, if you do any commercial glass that has a high contact windows and you don't use ammonia, you're fucking up, man. That shit rips fingerprints off of glass. Rips it off. Ooh, everybody wants to make, like, I've been using GG4 all season and I really don't see a difference. I prefer... I still put a
because there isn't.
I still put a little bit of Dawn on my soap. You know, it's just not sudsy enough for me.
You want the suds? Yeah,
I like the suds. Yeah.
You're just used to the suds, man.
Is that what it is? I just feel like they're not clean unless I put dish soap in there and some ammonia.
See, I don't really use Dawn too much. I use Joy, and then I mix like. If I have 20 ounces of Joy, I might mix 2 or 3 ounces of Dawn in there, just to get a little bit more suds out of it.
Okay. Yeah, because Joy doesn't sud like Dawn does.
In the sun. Like, what do your guys use? I guarantee those guys use Joy. I guarantee they do. Your guys use Joy to do high rise.
Mark, are you talking or not?
Yeah, no, they like Dawn. My guys like
Dawn. Ooh, shoot, mug.
I would have thought it was Joy.
Chris, do you guys still sell Dawn on your website?
Yeah.
I'll say, you guys have big bottles of Dawn on your website, don't you?
5 gallon and, the regular bottle. But, dude, really, like, 95% of people just use whatever soap is on sale at the store. And, that's quite suitable.
I like guys, though, that... you want it. I think when I first got onto Pro Window Cleaning, which was the first Facebook window cleaning oriented page I went on, and then to see the debauchery, that was back, Chris. Well, I'm sure you've seen it 100 times. The soap wars, when people start. I mean, it'll be a 500 thing thread about people debating what soap is great, and you always have it looks like Flapjack City is referring to it here. They're like, why would you use dish soap on glass? Well, what the fuck are your dishes made out of?
Yeah, right.
Unless you eat on paper plates, they're fucking glass.
Soap Wars, man. I've made so many logos over the years of like the Star Wars logo, using the Soap Wars for people. It's just a constant, endless, ridiculous debate.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Well, people get mad at people who use like palm olive. I'm like, well, who gives a shit? Like, why does it fucking?
I use palm olive. I you know why? The whole reason why I switch soap is just to smell something different while I'm working.
Yeah. Exactly. You
get sick of lemon. You get sick of this smell.
Because really, I'm just trying. Yeah, there's nothing like switching up the smell of ammonia and Dawn and ammonia and palm olive and ammonia and Joy.
Yep.
There's nothing better than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost pumpkin spice season. There'll be pumpkin spice.
Fuck that.
The
I only use Meyer soap in my water. It's good for my hands.
Use Meyer soap like
I heard it's good for your vagina too, Chris Salazar.
You're a lady if you use Meyer soap.
Yeah.
You start with Market Basket. And
Yeah.
just buy shit.
I had some dude like unfollow me or like block me on Facebook. His name's Ewing Sharp. I actually really liked the guy. Thought he's a really nice guy, but he fucking got on and started talking about how he uses Myers because Dawn causes cancer or some shit like that. And I'm like, you gotta send me the link, dude. You know what I mean? You gotta send me the link, brother. If so, we're all gonna die.
Everything causes cancer.
Yeah. My grandma's hand should have fucking cancered off of her body. That should have just fell off. That lady was always in some Dawn dish soap. Always.
Listen, the soap I use doesn't cause cancer, but the Marlboros I smoke probably.
Right?
You're just gonna find out as you're fucking lighting up.
Dude, I use Dawn dish soap while smoking cigarettes in the sun with no sunscreen on. That's how much I give a fuck.
Yeah. That's how much I don't care that I got it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
That's where I go with the less bills I have to pay.
So are you feeling like we're on our industry is on the verge of a comeback, or is it on the verge of a new normal, Chris? What do you think? I mean, as a window cleaning distributor and also manufacturer now with Zero, what do you feel? Which way do you feel about that?
Well, I would say like if we could just take a step back and you were to look at like the first 2 months this COVID BS started, we took a substantial hit. But then like once we got into May and everybody got their Trump bucks, like off the charts. And I think there's so much to do with like obviously commercial was fairly dead, but so many people were home looking at their crappy windows. So they were calling and doing all sorts of extra cleaning things. So I actually think the cleaning industry as a whole, window cleaning, has been busier than ever recently. Going into the fall, I expect it to stay the same, but man, come election time, I just don't know. Like I think we could see a period of some serious weirdness, probably only like a month or two. Like that kind of shit just eventually fades. Certainly by spring it'll rebound, but I think we're probably certainly in for some weirdness.
Mark has probably seen it. Like, so I track my numbers every year, and 2016 October and beginning of November was super slow for me. And then it jumped back up. I feel like every 4 years, no matter who becomes president, everyone kind of sits on their money for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then as soon as the chaos kind of drops off.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Glass So Bright. May, June, July, like Glass So Bright said, were awesome for me, but August sucked a fat dick for me. August was fucking. This is the worst August I've ever had. August was the worst August I've ever had. I've never had one that bad.
Yeah, listen good.
Yeah, so I mean,
we were like pretty even in August, but I can certainly see the uptick in September. But man, like come election, like you gotta know, like it's gonna probably be weird.
Right.
Like there's just so much weirdness in there.
I hate to fucking work our way into that topic, because we keep dancing around it. But man, I'd have to agree with you, man. I really feel like I think the pimple has almost drawn to a head and it's about to go. I really.
It's all gonna crescendo on Halloween when kids across the nation want to go out trick or treating and they're getting arrested in their little and then those arrests are gonna flood. 3 days later, everyone's gonna go vote. So like, there's gonna be some weirdness.
Right, because you know that it's gonna be because every year it's about I found needles or razor blades or something in my kid's candy, which is always a horseshit story.
Horseshit.
Always horseshit. Because what kind of fucking asshole puts a needle in a kid's fucking candy? You know what I mean? Who does that? Nobody. You fucking idiots.
Who's gonna waste their drugs on a kid?
Right. Yeah. Right. They're giving out weed candy. No, I am not. I am eating that shit.
Dude, I've been a neighborhood celebrity for like 4 years. I give out full-size Snickers bars and I have Sutter Home like wine nips
Uh-huh.
for the women, and then Bud Lights. And I sit out on my porch and I fucking hang out. And if a dad comes up, it's a Bud Light. If a lady walks up, it's a Sutter Home wine. And the kid gets a full-size Snickers bar. Like, oh, did that weigh your bag down? Like, that's what's up. Like, let's go.
Wow, awesome! You're awesome. Seth might be the richest man in window cleaning now.
He's up in that rich.
I mean, who passes out Bud Lights and fucking wine to people?
This guy.
Rich guys. That's who. Now, you know for sure, without a fact, there's going to be COVID candy. It's going to be COVID candy, COVID candy, COVID candy. There's going to be this huge spike in COVIDs, and all the COVIDs are going to be. It's going to be COVID.
Gives a shit anymore, though.
Dude, I don't. I'm going to tell you this right now, not to be a douchebag or nothing, but have you noticed how the COVID has taken a back seat to the politics? It's already on.
Always.
All it is someone's like in their back pocket, like, Trump's an asshole. Look what he did with COVID. That's all they do with it now. That's all they do with COVID now.
I know. Like 2 years ago, I didn't even like Trump, but now I'm just like, well, this is a bunch of bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I don't care anymore. I'm just sick of people being fucking babies.
Fucked up. I'm tired of seeing people being
parents
fucked up to each other,
shit.
to be quite honest with you. I'm tired of watching people be fucked up to each other. That's what I'm tired of. I'm just fucking tired of it.
I'm like, just fucking chill out.
Yeah, just fucking whatever, dude. Even though I'm a part of it on a lot of occasions, because sometimes people say stupid things on the internet, and I feel like I have to put on my fucking white knight armor and fucking go out and slay these dragons, these liberal dragons.
Some of my favorite things are just, I don't say nothing, but I watch you and your buddy Vashon just go fucking back and forth. I'm like, I love this today. This is my favorite thing. Like, you're a fucking idiot. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, this thing matters, and you're like, well, that's a stupid thing, and I'm like, I love it. Like,
and then at the very end, he's like, I love you, bro, and I was like, I love you too. Yeah, we're cool afterwards. We're cool.
I saw him, like, you posted a picture, and he's like, hey, much love to your family.
And I love Vashon. Vashon is fucking amazing. I love Vashon.
That's the way it's supposed to go, though. Like, you can disagree, yell at each other, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Vashon and I bonded over Cleveland Browns football, and everyone knows we're fucking the NFL's laughingstock. We all know we're a joke. We get it. But that fraternity of men that watch every Sunday their team suck no matter what we watch. You know what I'm saying? That fraternity is a really tight bond. That's where we bonded. And then, he's a black guy. I'm a white guy. And, even though I'm not a racist fucking asshole, he does not like Trump because he's Trump. That's it. He just doesn't like him. It's not about who's better for the country for Vashon at this point. Vashon is just like anyone but Trump. And that's where I disconnect with him. But we could come back at the very end of it and still be friends. We're still cool. You know what I mean? He says fucked up shit to me. I say fucked up shit to him. And we apologize to each other privately. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
I love it. Is anyone doing fantasy football this year?
I wish I did. We should start. It's too late, isn't it? It would have been cool.
Yeah, I just did mine last night.
I was gonna say it would have been cool to do a Squeegee Life. It would have been cool to do a Squeegee Life football league. That would have been cool.
I'd love it. Mark Tanner's wife would pick Mark's team.
Oh yeah, because Mark is a fucking straight vagine.
Mark would be like Mark Edwards, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Ronnie Van Zant's my quarterback.
I'm just teasing Mark.
Yeah.
What Mark's not going to like when I see him is like this big giant man's going to give him a big ass hug. He's going to be like, I don't like this. And I'm like, tough shit.
Seth, I have no issue with anything you say at all.
You don't know. You can have an issue with me giving you a big giant hug.
Yeah, I don't like touch. I don't like people.
Yeah, but that's
uncomfortably long.
Yeah,
linger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab his ass. I'm gonna give him a hug and reach down and grab some meat. I'm gonna grab that ass cheek. But ow!
When I see TJ, I'm like, what up, dog? I'm like, reach for the butt cheek, reach for the back. Like, well, what's up?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get it from the side, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll reach from the side. I got long enough.
I'm all ass and tits, man. I'm both. I'm all ass and titties.
Do you do fantasy football or no?
Chris doesn't watch sports.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, you don't watch sports like at all. Like what's your downtime stuff then?
Chris, what I do in my downtime?
Chris Lambrinides. Listen, Chris Lambrinides.
I build rock walls.
Chris.
All right, so you're like a mason. All right, I like that.
Chris Lambrinides.
The real ghetto.
Yeah. When Chris Lambrinides was in high school, he fucking he didn't do sports. Even though he was probably super athletic, he just didn't do sports. He was too busy listening to the Misfits and fucking skating and dying. You were skate or die, weren't you, Chris? I mean, not like shot in the stomach, skate or die.
Yeah.
I have a skateboard ramp in my basement.
You skateboard, that's a sport. That counts.
That's not a. No, it's not. No, it's not. Skateboard's not a sport. No.
It's a lifestyle.
No.
It's a lifestyle.
If golf's a sport, skateboarding's definitely a sport.
Golf's not a sport either.
No.
Is it?
Is it a hobby?
I don't know. But
Golf isn't a
football, are
sport.
they actually having football? Are they gonna wear masks on those silly helmets?
Yeah, football's happening.
That's happening.
We've already covered the location for the next year's huge convention. It may be Atlanta. It may not be. He's not sure yet. They're not absolutely sure.
We have a hotel reservation in Atlanta, but I'm going to be monitoring the civil unrest highly, and potentially there may be a slight shift.
If that shit's still going on, move it, man. Not 2 years in a row.
Just a large.
No.
That's all I request.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the people that are coming to get in it, to be hassled in any way by nonsense.
It's going to be in downtown Portland.
Right. Yeah, fuck me, dude.
I don't know. Like, before all this shit happened, like, Portland, Oregon's, like, one of my favorite places I've ever been to. That place fucking rules. But now, that place sucks. That place sucks. Yeah, dude, it used to be a ton of fun. Like, Portland, Oregon used to be a lot of fun to go to. Ton of breweries, food, like, the whole vibe was, like, really cool. But in the past 2 or 3 years, I'm like, I don't want to go there.
Jacob Williams says Panama City, Florida is a good location. From what I understand, that's
spring
fucking...
break town.
Huh?
It's a spring break town.
Yeah, it's garbage. Fuck Jacob Williams.
If you love the redneck Riviera, then go to... that place is the most redneck place I've ever been to in my life. Besides Jack.
Palm Beach, 3 miles from the airport, is the convention center. Right across the street is one of those top golf places for the golfers. There's everything there, man.
Dude, Palm Beach is really nice. I like Palm Beach.
What about West Palm Beach? Is West Palm Beach cool or no?
Yeah, same area. Yeah.
So is what's better, West or East? I bet all the rich people live in West Palm Beach, don't they, Mark?
No, the rich people live in Palm Beach, not West
or
East.
There's
really no East Palm Beach.
No.
There's really no East Palm Beach. There's West Palm Beach and Palm Beach. Palm Beach is where Mar-a-Lago is. Donald Trump's house. Howard Stern's got a $50 million house. That's where the
Jason said Portland and Seattle suck. Oh, you don't say, Jason. I would never expect that from you, Jason.
Jason lives on an island hunting Sasquatch. That's all I can say.
He lives on Sasquatch Island off the coast of Washington. I think Jason does live on an island, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
I think he does, yeah.
I send shit to him all the time. I just send him some more shit. I sent him some super sweet sweatshirts and a screen I made him custom stickers for his screen washer and his poles. I made him like labels with his window cleaning logo and his phone number for his poles, so if they get lost or something, they can call him, which they're never gonna do. They're just gonna keep it. You're gonna keep your fucking pole. That's what I would do if I found Jason Lehman's beat up fucking Excalibur.
It's just scraped from here to here.
Yeah, it's just scratched all this shit.
Rubbing it against the gutter all day. It's just like, fuck it. I got it.
Right. I don't know.
Mark, how far are you from West Palm Beach?
I'm actually closer to West Palm Beach than Palm Beach.
Yeah, isn't
How far?
5 miles.
I've spent a shit ton of time in Deerfield Beach. I think that's only like half an hour from there.
It's about a half hour. I grew up washing windows in Deerfield Beach.
Yeah, my aunt lives there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Isn't your address West Palm, or no?
Well, sometimes if you mail me something, the post office will change it to West Palm, but I'm actually in West Palm. But where I live is unincorporated, so it could go either way.
Okay, you know, because every time I type your address in,
yeah, it says West Palm.
Yeah, it always goes to West Palm.
Is Homestead its own town or like a village?
Yeah.
West Palm.
Hometown.
Whidbey Island. Jason,
in Miami.
Is that? Am I saying it right, Jason? Whidbey Island, Whidbey.
Yeah, he lives. Jason lives in one of the most beautiful spots in all of North America. Like that coastline that he lives on is gorgeous.
Right. God, Seth.
Yeah, but what about all the rain? It seems so depressing there with that rain.
Yeah, well, it rains here like every fucking 2 days.
Listen, Jason cleans windows in the rain where he lives. I could never get away with that here. Never. People will call me like, it's supposed to rain Friday. No, listen. People around here...
This whole year.
Listen, people around here will call you on fucking Monday morning and be like, well, it's supposed to rain Friday. I don't want to do them.
Yeah, but you got to tell them what's up.
I do. Yeah. And I just don't do their windows.
So wait, are you saying it's different in your area from all other areas?
Yes, it's different.
You saying that?
I am saying it. Just ask Eric.
I can tell you this from experience. Island, like on the Island of Palm Beach, the Island of Palm Beach it's an island with 2 connector bridges, okay? But it's literally between the intercoastal waterway and the ocean. So if it rains, you don't clean windows on the island because the salt there. Now, TJ's on that lake, and I imagine if it rains on that lake, it's just as bad as rain on the island here, you know?
It sucks. People are assholes. Now, a lot of people don't give a shit. But there is a small contingent in my customer base that if it's gonna rain within 3 or 4 days, we don't want to do it. We're not gonna be home. I'm like, all right, dude. And then they'll call me again in August. I'm like, well, you never showed up to do the windows. I'm like, because that's, it's never gonna not rain. It's never gonna not rain. I was like, I always tell them, like, there's a 30% chance of rain every single fucking day in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna rain. There's a good chance. Where we live, it might rain. It's probably gonna rain.
Yeah. I tell people all the time. So my favorite line is, when everyone tells me like, "Oh, it's gonna rain," I'm like, "Well, if I didn't clean windows because of rain, I wouldn't have a business."
Well, I can tell you right now, a lot of people.
It rains 3 days a week here.
The only people that do that are the people that clean their windows. They only call you once or twice. Or like maybe one time in 3 fucking years. It's those people. Like, you estimate their house, you do the windows, you don't hear from them for 2 years, and then they call you back like, hey, I'm ready to do my windows.
Yeah.
No, and this sounds stupid, but I hand out, I have sticky pads for people, and I go, listen, if I clean your windows and you see spots, put it on the window, like put a sticky pad on the window, and I'll come back and I'll clean it. I've never had one person, after I hand them the sticky pads, and it's cheap. It's like, I don't know, $2 for like a 30 pack of sticky pads, and I just hand them out. I'm like, here's some sticky pads. Put them on the windows you think need to be re-hit, and I'll hit them like when you need to re-hit. I've never had it happen.
Those people, they end up bending to my will. They don't get done when they want to get done, but they bend to my will and.
As it should be.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, that's cool. And I go do something else. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right,
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay, that's cool with me. I guess I'll be home a little bit earlier today. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it. I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't care about anything.
Nothing matters.
Nothing fucking matters. I gotta keep that in my mind. I gotta keep that in my mind. That's
so, are you a carpenter this winter, or like winter, or are you a window cleaner?
Who?
You.
Me? I don't know. I'm trying to get a job working for my cousin part time, but he won't give me a job. He's a fucking asshole.
Every cousin's.
I'm not a fucking drunk retard, so he won't give me a job. I say that to him all the time, and he gets fucking mad at me. He ends up he always hires somebody. do awesome fucking work. They're awesome, show up but it's always a drunk. You know what I mean? He's never a drunk for the first 90 days. It's only afterwards that it's found out that I'm a fucking drunk. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, motherfucker. He has the worst fucking luck. I'm like, if you need me to start drinking more, I will drink more to get a job. I will become an alcoholic if you just give me a job in the winter. I'll become a drunk in the wintertime, you know what I mean, and work for you. It'll be great.
I had an old guy working for me that retired, and he always told me this advice. You've heard this before. He'd say, you hire someone because they're the best qualified. Within 30 days, you'll know something about them that you would not have hired them. And that's pretty true.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's pretty much everyone
I wonder if, Chris, Chris, say something, Chris.
Chris is frozen. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there's something.
Hey, sorry, you cut out for a second.
Yeah, I could hear the feedback from something. You must be bouncing back and forth or something with your audio, but now there it goes again.
How about now?
Yeah, it's perfect now.
Much better.
No, I don't have a tracking number. I suck. I might have a tracking number. I'll have to look at my truck. I have to look at my truck, Jason. I think I still have the receipt. I'm terrible with tracking numbers. But no. They'll send me an email. I should have an email probably either today or tomorrow. No, tomorrow or Friday I should have one. A tracking number for you, Jay. Yeah.
Did you buy the same hoodies I have?
Yes.
Oh, well, he's gonna love them then.
Oh,
as
yeah.
Large man, when you move in those things, it's the best.
Chris.
Sorry, I'm back.
Why do you have to be so aggressive?
Jesus.
Why are you so upset?
How's that?
Man? Nothing matters. Perfect, dude.
Great.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, there's a cute dog. I like that dog. The brown dog's stupid, but the other one's cool. Tucker's an asshole. Look at him. Look at that dickhead.
There he is.
Hey, I decided to be a good dog.
He's a good boy.
That's all he needed was somebody to love him. That's all that dog fucking needed. Because this chick's like, oh, this dog's the worst dog ever, whatever. And Jennifer had him for like 3 days, and I'm like, what's wrong with this dog? It's fine. There's nothing wrong with this dog.
Dude, I'm telling you, all he does is make me smile. I mean, everything he does is funny.
Yeah.
The only thing with him, he's obsessed with two things. With the garden hose, okay, he will attack the fuck out of the garden hose and get out of the way. And the four-wheelers. If he ain't riding in it, dude, I loaded up for this weekend's ride. He sat in the bike on the trailer, wouldn't get out. He's like, I'm not getting out until you take me around the ride. I had to drag him, put him in the truck, and the whole time he's like staring at it out the back window, staring at the bike, following us on the trailer.
You can't touch a leash or say the word walk in our house without the three dogs fucking freaking the fuck out. Oh, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Dude, in my house, you put your shoes on.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Dude, both my dogs are like laid up now. My one dog, he's getting kind of old. He's like 9 years old. It's kind of old for that type of dog. And his like shoulders all just fucking jacked up. But he's just like limping all over the house. He can barely get up. But then like he sees a deer outside and goes ballistic, and he's running like 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The other one yesterday jumped over this rock wall we got in the back of the house and ripped her entire nail off her paw.
Oh.
So she yesterday had to go back to the vet 3 times. And now she has a cast. She's a cast in her foot.
Yeah,
what kind of dogs do you have?
Dobermans.
All right. Yeah. 9 years is a long time for Dobermans.
Yeah.
It's
like it's a big dog too, and like man, they make it to like 8 years old. I'm gonna be sad.
Way to bring it down, Seth. Yeah, that's a really long time for your dog. Any day now.
All I said was like, that's a long time for that dog. He's like, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm like, yeah, of course, it's a dog. I'd be pissed too.
You ought to give cash to Seth.
Seth had some
looks like
shots
a Yorkie
tonight.
type. You have a dorky?
Seth did some drinking.
Oh, Mark.
Seth did some drinking at dinner tonight. You could tell Seth had some to drink tonight. He's fucking.
I mean, probably.
This is the most Seth has talked and he's actually talking over me, which is really good. Because I'm always like, dude, say shit. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? And now he's actually saying shit, so I like that. So you can tell Seth's been drinking. It's great.
Yeah, I had a few.
Do you have a couple gin and tonics or something, Seth?
No, my vice is like Captain and Cokes. So
Right.
I
Nice
do
and sugary.
like gin, but yeah, I like gin and tonics like when it gets cold, but like another month or so. What's your vice?
Red Bull and vodka, or just Jack straight.
Jack.
You know what? I was drinking, and I got away from it because I had a problem. But, man, out Saturday, I think I drank like a half a bottle of whiskey, and I was just like, I felt good. You know what I mean? Just straight. There's nothing better than some straight sipping whiskey over just a rock in a rock glass. It's just so good. And I was like, man.
It's hard to beat.
If I start drinking whiskey again, I'm going to be instantly skinny because I'll stop eating everything. That's the reason why I'm fat, is because I don't drink anymore. I quit drinking. I used to be skinny and drunk all the time. I used to like life a lot better back then.
Decision.
Yeah. It's a really, should I be a drunk or should I be fat? You know what I mean?
Just be fat.
Right. What are you about to say, Mark, you fucking asshole? You were getting ready to say something. Something popped into your head. Your face changed and you started smiling. You were thinking about something. What are you watching? Fucking Beavis and Butthead on television? The fuck are you watching? We're doing a fucking podcast.
Run you over with a quad this week.
It's not a quad. It's a bike. It's a bike. Bikes.
Even if it's got 4 wheels?
Yes, even if it's got... Exactly, Chris. Even if it's got 4 fucking wheels, it's a bike.
You can't tell Mark that, but please tell Mark.
Yeah, you can't tell Mark that, but please tell Mark that.
I don't know. All right. I don't know what they do down there in Florida.
It's a bike. Right, Mark?
We call it a side-by-side.
You call it a bike all the time. I'm going to bring my own bike, you fucking asshole.
If we call it a bike, you're the first one online looking the price on
I would not do that.
I've only heard one other person call it a side-by-side, and it's Jersey. Like, he's like talking about getting this side-by-side. What are you talking about? Side?
Right.
What do you mean? Like, is that a golf cart?
Super aggressive golf cart. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird when you call it a bike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my cousins down in Georgia call every soda a fucking everything's a Coke. A Coke. Everything's a Coke. Even if it's Orange Crush, it's a fucking Coke. You want a Coke?
I don't think you can get like ginger ale, right? Like
no,
ginger ale's not a thing.
I don't think they do a lot of that down there. No, like Vernors, when they come up here, that's like a big deal. They got to take some Vernors back home with them. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. You know what I mean? But Vernors around here, I mean, you got that cures if you're from Michigan, that's like the cure all for everything. You know, like I'm sick, I got COVID. Just go buy a 12-pack of Vernors, you'll be fine.
What is it?
It's a pop. It's soda pop. It's a ginger.
Oh, just soda?
Yeah, it's ginger. Yeah.
Okay.
And they, people of Michigan, that's like my family up there. That's you just need a Vernors. You know what I mean? It's just like it's medicine up there or some shit. I mean,
settle your stomach.
Yeah. My grandma, every time my stomach hurt, my grandma like, just drink a Coke. Coke's good for my grandma. There's no more cocaine in it. They don't put that in there anymore. It has no medicinal properties.
Mark, do you have enough land where you can like ride out of your place there, like onto some stuff, or do you have to travel to get somewhere with your?
Oh, he has 2 houses, Chris. He has 2 houses. Please continue, Mark. Yes, he does. He has 2 houses.
I have a camp.
Which is a house. Which is a house. Which is a house.
I have a camp of 5 acres that we ride at. And then where I live, I have 1.5 acres, which you can ride around the yard.
You do a little rallying around.
Yeah, I mean, I yell at the kids because I try to keep the lawn nice, but occasionally we let them ride, And I live on dirt roads, so before my area really got populated, nobody said a word. But now the cops come warn you, and they can get nasty about it. But I'm the second house in on the street, but at the edge there's a preserve with like 30,000 acres, and you used to could ride out there.
And they don't let you do it anymore?
But the county bought it and turned it into a natural area, and you can't ride. You could go on a horse, you could hike, but you can't ride the side.
Are there alligators? Like, do you have to shoo alligators away anytime you're at your house?
I have a canal behind my house, and occasionally you'll see them. Like when we had hurricane and the canal crested into the yards, we had a gator in the yard. Not a real big one, like a 3-footer. But yeah, they're in every canal. Like if you're fishing and all of a sudden fishing stops, and then you look around, you're going to see a big gator swimming by, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like we go to areas that, well, we have a wildlife area here. It's in my area. It's about 5 miles away, called J.W. Corbett, and there are monster alligators out there, you know. But they you know, unless it's mating season, they really won't bother you.
Have you ever seen the boa? Have you ever seen any pythons out there?
Yeah, I'm not. When I was
that's an invasive species, right?
Yeah, well,
Rogan talks about it all the time.
The Everglades. Yeah, so now they have a python hunt every year where you go get them because they're taking over the Everglades because they're not native here. But when I was a kid, I did a lot of Everglades, you know, hunting and fishing and stuff. And now I really don't get out there much. But yeah, there's a lot of pythons and, you know, wild.
So
they have a python hunt, really?
Yeah, because somebody let them loose in the Everglades, and again, they're considered invasive. So they'll you know, sell a permit along with your hunting license, and you can get as many snakes as you can. You know,
cool.
They'll get, you know, several thousand of them every year because they're just wiping out the Everglades, you know.
We have a bear hunt here every year.
Really?
Oh.
Do you have like nuisance bears over there?
I see multiple bears every single day of my life.
Really?
No shit, like dogs, huh? Like stray dogs just fucking out. Damn, bro.
They're just out, like, yeah. Like, I live, my property butts against this kind of weird preserve these, like, super rich dudes bought back in the 30s and, like, passed it down to their families. It was, like, this recreational area for people coming up from the city.
Yep.
And because of that being there, like, there's just constant wildlife activity in my yard. There's a couple.
They don't ever fuck with your dogs or nothing?
My dogs fuck with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're scared of the dogs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's the one thing in Florida, because we have so many alligators. If you live on a lake, you better make sure you got a good fence, because if there's alligators in there, they'll wait for your dog to come down and get a drink.
Right, man.
They love dogs because they can easily just drag them in. Where I live, the canals behind my house are basically water management, so they're not real deep, and it hooks to main canals that have a lot of alligators, but they don't come in. There's no food for them in these little, you know, water management drainage. Because, I mean, Florida, the infrastructure has changed over the last 10 years because of the hurricanes, so we're so close to sea level, like I said before, that, you know, everything drains fast. Like, I was in Texas, and my brother's like, you see that puddle there? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, that puddle's been there for 2 months. And I'm like, really? He said, because it's all clay and rock. It doesn't drain. Here, we're all sugar sand. So, like, my yard can be, like, a foot deep everywhere. I've got pictures. I've posted them after hurricanes. My yard looks like waterfront property. Within 4 or 5 days, it's all gone. You know, it's history. So it just sinks right into the ground, permeates right in.
I seem to remember as a kid being down at Deerfield Beach and seeing an alligator, like, just kind of, because the property backed up to water.
Yeah, see, Deerfield is pretty east. If you go west, you know, just go out west a little bit from Deerfield, they're everywhere. I mean, like, people that come to Florida that go, I want to see alligator, I just take them to west of Deerfield, or I take them out to one of the preserves, and they're like, all right, where are we going to see them? I'm like, just stand still for a minute. And there they are, you know?
Right.
I mean, I cleaned up this account, and it was backed up to a preserve, and they had a big lake with the alligator. So while we were working, I always have a fishing pole in my truck, a breakup pole behind the seat. And I'm like, watch this. And you could literally cast a rubber worm, jig it up, and get it to sit right between his eyes. and he would pick. I mean, this is like get so mad, trash his head. My boy's like, hook him. I'm like, I'm not gonna try to hook him. He'll just pop the line,
Right.
you know. But they're everywhere.
So I'm thinking about remodeling my podcast room here, and what I'm worried about is if I'm going to get flack from my viewers like Joe Rogan has about switching his podcast studio. I mean, I'm thinking about mimic. I mean, they're really, really
It's a little unsettling, that new studio.
It is?
Yeah.
I think so. It looks like he's in a weird dome.
Does that bother you?
It's unsettling. I don't know what it is. I don't like it yet. But there's only been 2 episodes.
Right.
I think.
Right. Because have you noticed that people are really fucking upset about that fucking dude's podcast room? They're like really mad about it. So should I be careful on how I paint my podcast studio? My podcast studio? Should I be?
Glass doors behind you, right?
Huh?
Those are glass doors behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Like, what's your move?
I'm gonna paint the room and reorganize everything. The stickers and the glass doors might not be my backdrop anymore. So I don't know. That might make people mad.
Well, for 1 or 2 episodes, and everyone gets used to it.
Yeah.
After that.
Or you could be like Chris and be like unsettled by it and think it's like the lair of Satan.
Dude, it looks weird. It looks weird. After seeing him in that brick for so many years.
Okay, yeah, I will give you that. It's different, but unsettling just is a weird term. Because I've heard that term, I've seen that term tossed around pretty good. The whole, it's really unsettling. Really? It's really unsettling. Like, I don't understand. I thought it was going to look cool because it looked like wood and everything looked cool. And then when he did the podcast, it was red. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? And the one with Adam Curry was a little sketchy. It just... Maybe the new cameras are like putting me off. It just seems like it's overproduced now. Am I wrong about that? That's what it seems. The show seems overproduced to me now.
Well, has he moved yet or no?
Yes.
Is he going? So he's in Austin now.
Yes.
Okay.
He's been in Austin. I don't know how. I know the last 2 episodes I watched was the Mike Tyson episode in Austin. I can't remember.
I feel like the Mike Tyson episode was in California, but I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Old studio.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Mike Tyson's old studio.
That's what I thought.
That's the last one I watched.
Well, he's not getting rid of the one in California. He's just not living in California anymore. He's just done with that. From what I understand.
Jacked up Mike Tyson look.
Yeah.
Tyson looks ripped as fuck, though.
He
that
good.
dude,
Yeah.
I want to get that probably you can't punch anyone in the face. He's going to knock somebody the fuck out.
Seeing Mike Tyson like that is like, man, this dude's going to fuck somebody up again.
I love that guy.
Because I was a kid. I was like 4th, 5th grade when he was like really the fucking man. He was like a mythic figure. I always remember my folks getting the fights and like of them always being pissed off because it was like fucking over instantly. You know what I mean?
Over like 2 minutes?
Yeah. No, like 30 seconds. Didn't he knock like Trevor Burbrick out in like 30 seconds, like smoked him?
Under a minute.
Yeah, he smoked some dude in like 30 seconds. That's all I remember.
Well, Tyson to me is like the American dream, right? Like poor kid, came from nothing, had a skill, somebody saw it. And then
okay, Mario. Somebody saw it, Mario.
Somebody saw it, yeah. Mario.
I only remember that night because that's the only time in my life and the first time in my life I've ever been lightning struck right across the street while we were standing. We had a front porch, and it was all glassed in with sliding windows, and we were standing there. And I remember the way it looks. I remember the feeling in the air and everything with that lightning bolt. I mean, it could have been maybe 15 feet from us. It was absolute fucking insanity.
Oh, so you must have felt like
I felt it.
Hair standing up.
Yeah, I felt it. Yeah. I don't remember. I don't think I had any hair on my body at that time to have hair standing out. I'm not Joe Biden. But I remember the feeling in the air though. The air changed. It was fucking nuts, man. I'll never forget that ever. I've been obsessed with lightning ever since. Every time we get a thunderstorm here, I put my GoPro out every single time. I can't get enough of it. I love lightning. It's awesome. But that night scared the shit out of me.
6 times.
Yeah. The 80s was the era for boxing. Yes, the 80s were the era for just about everything. Everyone thought the 80s sucked, but if you go back and look at the 80s and the 90s, those were the two best decades we've ever had, I think. How?
Dude, the 80s is shit.
Music and movies.
Music and movies, and people were cool as fuck in the 80s and 90s, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, we were like the last in the 80s, the last unsupervised generation. Like, we ran free before kids were
Well, that's why,
Wondering, right?
that's what I wanted. That's what I'm kind of getting to here. Is I seen something on the internet, and it peeled my wig back because I watched the documentary on HBO, and to find out that Chris worked at fucking Action Park is like the best fucking shit ever, dude. It all makes sense now.
Dude, you don't understand my whole life. Like, I got a job there at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fucking 13. You weren't supposed to have a job at 13.
Right.
My dad was general manager there. So he was just like, oh, yeah, get a job there. Like, my dad was, like, a big part of that, and he refused to be in the documentary. But, like, you have no idea how wild that place was. Dude, this guy, Gene Moville, like, they didn't talk about this in the documentary, but every single day for 10 years, he took $100,000 in change out of there for himself, non-tax reported from the video games and the lockers. It is fucking wild. It is so, like, whatever they pictured in that documentary, it was so much more wild than that.
No shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
After I watched the documentary, I was like, holy shit. Here I am at 40 years old, and I didn't even realize 75% of my personality is based off this place. How did that happen?
No shit.
I'm not aware of that until now.
When I seen you post, when you made that, comment on Facebook, I'm like, no shit. Totally makes sense now. It totally makes sense.
I can see it from my house when the leaves go down. I only live 2 miles away from it.
No shit. That's cool, man. That's cool. Mark, why is your phone always going off?
I'm turning it off.
Why do you always play with your phone? You don't pay attention to the podcast. Would you like us to find another podcast partner?
No. My guys were going over tomorrow's schedule because they're not window cleaning. They go in
really?
Specialty services. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
What kind of specialty service can we know? Are you picking up dog shit?
Yeah, I can tell you. I mean,
are you picking up dog shit?
One of my buildings has a roof drain. And they're cast iron, so they're like 4 foot below. Like, they come through the roof and they're 4 foot from the parapet.
Right.
So they put this like liner in it. They spray some kind of fiberglass liner. Yep. So when they're done, my guy's got to drop over the edge, trim the fiberglass, and put a beauty ring.
Oh,
over
okay,
it.
Cool.
So, yeah, I mean, we do
take care of your customers.
For the access, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's high access stuff.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
They just had some questions. I apologize.
Don't do that. Don't let it happen again, dude.
Okay, it won't.
Dude, I miss the late 80s and 90s, though. Like, I really do.
I do, too.
I really miss the era. Like,
life was so much simpler then.
Dude.
I rode a 20-inch bicycle everywhere. From the time I was 6 years old till I was 22. I had a driver's license. I rode a 20-inch. If it was warm enough to be on a bicycle, like that means spring through fall, I was on it. That's all I did.
You talking standard BMX bike?
Oh yeah, like I had a couple GTs. I had a Mongoose, like the old school, not the Walmart version.
Did you ever have a Federal?
Huh?
Like a Federal bike?
No, I never had one of those. I had a Cyclecraft. I had a Dyno VFR. I had all kinds of shit. GT Performer.
I was a kid.
GT Mach 1. I had some cool bikes, man. But yeah, that's all I did.
Remember Rad?
Yeah, dude, come on, bro. Come on, dude, I got that shit on. Hey, I own that movie, bro. 3 different media forms too: VCR tape, DVD, and digitally. I'm a fucking savage in these streets, dude. Woo! Do you remember Rad? Come on, bro.
The other day, I'm 6 years older than my girlfriend,
and
you guys are a little bit older than me. And I was talking about my first date. She was telling me her first date. I'm like, my first date, I took this girl to go see Dante's Peak.
Yeah.
It must have been like 1997.
Yeah.
I think I was like 12. Yeah, I was 12 years old. My
Did
first
you get to see Seth's pin?
I wish, man. And it was just funny, like talking about
Fucking
we're
Mark.
like 6 years apart in age, but I was like, yeah, no, I went to see Dante's Peak. She's like I think her first date was like seeing like Finding Nemo or some shit like that.
Man, Flapjack City, listen, I'll get on a 20-inch bike right now and do some amazing shit that peel your whole fucking wig back. You'd be so surprised that a fat guy can do that shit on a bicycle. I would just have to make sure I got 48 spoke rims on some really good hubs and I could do some shit for real. Like, there's some things that I think, like, I couldn't pull off when I was younger because I wasn't strong enough. That now I know I can do. Now I know I can do.
Do you do like flatland shit or do you like jumps?
I did whatever the fuck, whatever. We used to build trails. We used to build trails back in the woods. We would go even. Sometimes we'd build some kickers, but a lot of guys were scared of kickers. You know, you get too high in the air, they'd fuck their bike up. We rode anywhere we could ride a bike. We rode it, rails, anything. We got kicked out of downtown. I used to get in big time trouble because we'd ride from the house downtown and we'd fuck everything up with our bikes and we'd fuck shit up. You know what I mean? And I mean, not on purpose, but we were fucking shit up. The rails were painted. We were fucking scraping the paint. We were causing damage. It was ruckus. It was ruckus.
Good, clean fun, though.
It was clean fun.
Things.
I never rode a pads or with a helmet or none of that shit. You know what I mean? If I, road abrasion was, that was part of life back then.
Like my younger one, JT, said to me a couple of weeks ago, he's like, what did you do growing up without Xbox? I'm like, we went outside and fucking played.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dude, I never, back in those days, I would get up in the morning around 8 o'clock, and I wouldn't come home until the streetlights were on, because that was the rule. Once the streetlights came on, I would not come home for anything. My mom never worried about anything. Does anyone remember a gaming system called 3DO by... Yes, I had one. MAW. I had a 3DO by Panasonic.
Was that before Commodore 64?
I also had a fucking Action Max.
Commodore 64, dude. I remember that shit.
Did anyone here ever have an Action Max? Did anyone here ever have an Action Max?
No, but I've heard of it.
I had an Action Max. That came out the same year the Sega Genesis did. I got both for Christmas because I was spoiled rotten.
What was that other one? It was like a Neo something. It was
Neo
like,
Geo.
So yeah, that might
or the TurboGrafx 16.
That's it.
TurboGrafx 16, dude. I had
yeah. Slaughterhouse, son. Yes.
So my parents were cheap as fuck. So in 1994, I think TurboGrafx came out in like 89, 90.
Love you too, Flapjack City. Subscribe, guys.
New system I bought you, and I'm like, well, you bought it at clearance in fucking like Target, but yeah, let's see this thing. My parents bought me a what the fuck is it called? They Turbo Mac. So I had like Bonk, Air Bonk. I got
Bonks, man.
Axe Legends or some shit like that.
Yo, Marcus said the TI 994A. Texas Instruments, baby. Everybody, that was the calculator. If you didn't have that calculator, you weren't about shit, bro. You had to have that calculator.
I remember playing like ET on like Atari 2600. How frustrating that game was. Anyone remember that game?
What's that game? Say it again.
ET game for Atari 2600.
That fucking game sucked ass.
Oh, dude, it was the worst. I fucking hated that game.
Well, that was the game that killed video games. They thought that game just killed the whole video gaming industry. The ET. They actually took most of that shit and buried it in the desert.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ET game, yeah, man.
If you watch that documentary on Netflix, there's a documentary about the ET game on Netflix, Seth.
Really?
Yes, you gotta watch it.
Video game ever.
It was as the worst video game ever.
Is it the worst one? All right. Like, I mean, it was terrible,
fucking awful.
Man. I also was like 4 or 5 years old trying to play that game, so I don't remember like, you know what I mean? Like, you suck at everything when you're 4 or 5. You don't know how to do shit.
Well, I tell you this right now, every time my only memories of Atari were Space Invaders and Pitfall. I played the fuck out of those.
Pitfall, yep. I played the shit out of Pitfall.
Yeah, my cousin
my parents bought me Streets of Rage 2. And I was the fucking greatest thing I've ever
My
played.
favorite game of all time as a youngster was fucking Contra. I played the fuck out of Contra. Contra was legit.
Like you lay down, shot,
Yeah.
That game was great.
Up, down. You know, I could give you
I
guys
just
all that.
love Metroid, man.
Metroid is rad. Yeah.
Super
Metroid
Mario.
was with the massive
Super
shit.
Mario, baby, yeah!
36.
Super Mario, son.
I'm trying to come up with a creative ways to say Mario.
Man, I tell you what though, I think Seth's right, man. That I think those 2 decades were, life just seems so much simpler then. And I don't know, maybe even people, DCO Universe for life. But I think maybe that's something that all people do. You know what I mean? Oh, back in the day, it used to be this, or it used to be, so each generation has their time frame. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom says there's nothing better than the 70s. The 70s were the shit. You know what I
mean? 80s and 90s had the most timeless movies. Like, look, if you're bored, you're laying around on a Sunday, who's not going to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off or any of the John Candy movies?
Yeah, any of the John Candy movies, fucking
Outdoors.
Bloodsport, fucking Marked for Death.
Uncle Buck, son?
Uncle Buck.
You can't fuck with Uncle Buck.
I'm going. Hey, listen, I'm going.
Why don't you get a rat to gnaw that thing off your face?
Yeah.
So good.
Yes, Uncle Buck was really good. I really liked Uncle Buck.
I've been trying to show my kids a lot of 80s movies. So we like to watch Goonies. We watched the first Bill and Ted. I started playing Revenge of the Nerds for them, and I was like, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have played this.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You know what gives me hope, though, that we're like 3 or 4 years out from like a new, like, if you ever look at like, so the 60s and 70s were like super tumultuous, like there was like weird shit that went on, and then 80s and 90s were like, dude, we just want to hang out. And I feel like that's like what this generation is right now. Like we're in a really weird spot, and in like 2 or 3 years, everyone just wants to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
See a cool movie and just like hang out.
I hope that happens. I hope that happens.
Well, it will.
I hope it happens.
Like think about the cycles. Like TJ was talking before about like how 9/11 happened 20 years ago, and the whole country was like on point. And now, 20 years later, we're like literally more divided than ever. So it will totally swing back. Like that's
I mean, I don't know. In 2001, I was smoking weed out of a Mountain Dew bottle, like in my fucking basement in my house. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really remember what the fuck was going on because it was like
Groundhog Day was the fucking best, man.
Yeah, you remember that? Like, you just be like, MacGyver the fuck out of something in your house. You're like, I can make this work. Like, you know. Nowadays, kids just like buy cartridges. I'm like, this is bullshit.
All my buddies used to smoke fucking weed out of brass fittings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would and they were like, you gonna hit this? I'm like, no, dude. They're like, well, I was like, because that shit ain't good for you. Like, bullshit. I'm like, well, listen, my grandfather's a plumber. I'm telling you, that brass is not good for you, dude. That's not good. No. You cannot heat that shit up and be smoking through it, you fucking idiots. You know?
Yo. My wife's parents, to this day, still call weed fittings because they are always smoking at a fucking brass part. So literally, they still call weed like, oh, we're gonna get some fittings.
That's so good. Yo, that's so good, fittings. That's really good. I like that.
See, TJ would like my dad. My dad is like a 70s like acid head dude. And now like, so he stopped for a while, had a family, and now my dad's like divorced and a fucking maniac. So he's coming back to hang out, and he's like, hey man, I bought some tabs. Like, you want to take some this weekend? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, let's do that. Right. So I'm gonna fucking do acid with my dad this weekend.
Well, you know what, dude? For me, I feel like I was born in the wrong time. I should have been in high school in the 70s, because those are my favorite cars. My favorite cars are from the 70s. My favorite music is from the 70s. I think bell bottoms, those hip hugging bell bottoms those are sexy. Those are awesome pants. You know what I'm saying? Chicks look great in those pants.
Dude,
the crop tops. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Chicks were hot back then.
Farrah Fawcett haircut.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you ever watch Stranger Things and you're like, yeah, I could be in middle school at that time.
Oh,
And,
fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
I would be killing shit at that. I'm like, you guys playing Dungeons
I was in
Dragons?
grade school. I wasn't in high school or middle school.
I wasn't even alive yet at the time they made that show, but I'm still into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Stranger Things is the era exactly I was a kid, that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you, Chris?
43.
Okay, so you're 2 years older than I am.
Things were just more simple back then, and people weren't as materialistic. They still were.
Did you play Dungeons and Dragons?
People are just assholes now.
I did.
I did.
Love Dungeons and Dragons.
Chicks with dicks now.
In my house.
Leave it to Beaver. Chicks with dicks now.
Oh, yeah. Yo, Marcus is talking about Trading Places. Movie.
That's the best movie, dude. That's the best movie,
Trading
dude.
Places is a dope movie.
That is the best movie. I heard Eddie Murphy's going to start doing stand-up, man.
He is. He said he's going to make... You know, Eddie Murphy is kind of strange. I saw him... If you ever... Not that I watch Ellen, but last time we were in Tennessee, it was raining. It was freezing out, so we're sitting there, and Ellen came on. So the only reason I watched it was because Eddie Murphy was on there.
Uh-huh.
And she tried her best to bait him into doing some comedy. And it was like talking to a wall.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know? But
Eddie Murphy Raw was like, dude, man.
Raw, delirious. He's out there in that red leather outfit.
Dude.
Yeah, oh my god, dude, he was so good then.
Yeah.
He's talking about Mr. T jokes.
I remember Eddie Murphy 48 Hours. That's the Eddie Murphy I remember growing up. My parents would never let me watch Delirious or any of that shit. You know what I mean? They're absolutely not. But
have you guys? Has anyone listen? I'm gonna get to my suggestions because we're just about done here. But I want to give you guys another suggestion if you guys haven't fucking done it yet. If you have not listened to that book Chaos on audiobooks.com, you are fucking up. Have you? Are you listening to it? Good. Have you listened to it, Chris?
I finished it weeks ago.
It's so fucking good, man. It's so well researched. You got me either. I got maybe an hour left of listening time, and I'm all upset about it. What am I gonna listen to now? But if you haven't, check out Chaos on Audible or audiobooks.com. It's fucking amazing. Or read it. Super awesome.
How good is that guy? He researched that for 20 years, didn't make a buck. He was totally obsessed with it, and it was awesome.
Yes, it turned out really well. And
the world needs more people like
yes,
him.
Yes. But
what's it about?
It's about LSD and Manson and the government, essentially. Everything. There was some really wild shit going on. Joe Rogan has alluded to it a couple of times where he talked about it on his podcast where they did, the government or the CIA was doing LSD experiments on people back in the 60s. And,
the MK Ultra shit?
Yes. Well, this guy links all the... Dude, I'm telling you, listen to it. It's fucking amazing. It's amazing. Or read it. Either one. It's amazing. You have to listen to it.
He puts every piece together in this super well articulated way, and this is this dude worked on this for 20 years, so it's so tight. Yeah,
and it's not speculation. I mean, he does do some happenstance kind of connections, where you were here at this time, and this time. How did this, you know what I mean? How did you not know? Type of arguments, you know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of conjecture. It's super well researched.
Is that the one where they make a connection with the Manson murders?
And LSD and all that?
Yes.
And they were testing it on...
Yes, they were testing it on him.
I saw the
because if you, it's not a movie, it's a book.
No, I know. I'm saying Rogan's podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, if you,
I just downloaded it. I'll start it tomorrow.
Yes, I'm telling you, Mark, it's really good. It's crazy as shit. But
if
you got what's really weird about, and this is why I feel like his stance and his book is spot on, is because all the trouble that Manson got into, he never went to fucking jail. It's the dude had he wasn't, after, his initial stay in jail in the 50s, he got out in the 60s, he pretty much ran fucking roughshod. did whatever he wanted. It almost seemed, I mean, if you look at the way he presents the argument, shows the evidence, I mean, the dude pretty much did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. You know what I mean?
There was basically like 70 times he should have gotten arrested,
and
but
he
they
didn't.
just let him go.
Yeah, definitely. But if you want to watch a pretty cool, I don't know if anyone's seen it here, but if you want to watch a really awesome Eddie Murphy movie that's recent, and it's not a comedy, but he did awesome in it. Mr. Church. If you haven't seen Mr. Church yet, watch it. It's really good. And probably one of his better.
I never heard about. What is it?
It's It's a movie.
I never heard of it.
It's an Eddie Murphy film. It's about if I tell you what it's about, I'll be giving too much of it away. But just check it out. It's a drama. It's not a comedy. It's a drama. He did awesome in it, man. He was fucking amazing in it. So, but yeah, man, we'll check you guys out next week, right? If you guys want some window cleaning stuff, go to www.windowcleaner.com. Buy some stuff from Chris. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Are we gonna do a podcast next week, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
2 days before we leave.
Before I leave. Yes, and I leave on Thursday. So.
I'm leaving Friday morning.
Have you guys thought about doing an episode when you're all together in the same room?
I think we probably will.
Yeah.
Maybe we might do like if we can get a signal, we might do an hour from the woods.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the phone seemed to work pretty
good
last time.
Good. Then maybe we can hook something up and do something in the woods then.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun, get you guys all in one place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll do a Patreon only. Fuck it. We'll go live in the Patreon group just for the Patreon members. Fuck everybody else.
Shit just for Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna send stuff just for you. We're definitely gonna send stuff just for you.
I'll show you, Chris. I'll show the goodie bag I'm gonna give to. DJ
and you'll get all of Mark's memes that he's gonna make while we're down there. You know.
Yeah, we'll get Mark like taking edibles. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, oh, Mark, have this ham sandwich.
Here's some brownies, Mark. You want a brownie?
Yeah.
Mark is not going to eat a single fucking thing we try to hand to him. You got to watch out for that biscuits and gravy I'm going to make.
Yeah, you better not mess with that.
Mark's going to go hungry this weekend.
You know, he actually requested it. You're going to make sausage, biscuits, and gravy while I'm down there. I'm like, I mean, I guess. I mean, I can. I really don't want to, but I will.
Yeah, right. Like, I'll get up early.
I'm going to have to bring a fucking skillet with me and shit and everything. That's going to fucking suck.
I have everything there, dude. Everything is there.
A seasoned skillet?
Everything is there.
Whatever.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
How do you know they're going to have a seasoned skillet?
Yeah, Mark, he doesn't fucking know that.
I've been there.
I've been there.
I've not been there.
Well, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us again, Chris. You know you're welcome back anytime. We love having you on.
Hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, we love hanging out with you too. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Later.
What the hell? Why won't my video play?
That's fine.
Oh, there it goes.